What seemed to be a happy marriage from the outside quickly unravels into a bloodbath that cost the life of an 8-month pregnant wife. Tune in to our fourth episode as we discuss the case of Lacey Peterson.
One. Yeah. Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back. This episode is episode 4, and Ukmal's going to do his episode, so take it away.
Alright, so quick facts. I think this is our first episode with first case that has that actually inspired a law. So a law was passed because of this case. And also it inspired the movie Gone Girl. So I think it's our first case that inspired a movie. So the armor. So,
Fancy.
yeah. So Lacey Peterson, that's the name of the case. So Lacey Peterson was a young Californian girl who had a passion for gardening. She would often spend her time helping her mother Sharon with their farm in Escalon, California. Lacey was the youngest of two, born on May 4th, 1975. Lacey's older brother Brent was born in 1971. Lacey's parents got divorced when she was young. Sharon and the children moved to Modesto. Sharon was her mom. Shortly after the divorce, so though the children frequently kept in touch with their father with weekend visits to the dairy farm, Lacey's early life was seemingly normal. She spent her high school career as a cheerleader and enjoyed her gardening hobby, which she had cultivated since childhood. After graduating high school, she attended California Polytechnic State University. She majored in ornamental horticulture. I don't know what that is. While at California Polytechnic, Lacey would sometimes visit a friend who worked at a restaurant in Morro Bay called the Pacific Cafe. There, she met her friend's co-worker, Scott Peterson, in mid-1994. Lacey made the first move, sending Scott her phone number, and immediately after meeting him, she told her mother that she had met the man that she would marry. Damn, she was that short. Scott later called Lacey and they began dating. The couple dated for 2 years before eventually moving in together. Scott Peterson was 3 years Lacey's senior. So he was 3 years older than Lacey. Scott was an avid golf player from a young age and was described as a golf prodigy. In 1990, he enrolled to Arizona State University with a partial golf scholarship. He made a name for himself there while on the golf team, but his drinking habits and constant mingling with girls cost him his career in the golf team. He later transferred to Cuesta College and then finally to California Polytechnic State University, where he originally was majoring in international business but later changed to agribusiness. Scott was described as a model student by his professors during his time in Cali Poly. As Lacey and Scott's relationship got more serious, he took his studies more seriously and put aside his dreams of being a pro golfer. It is during Scott's third year that prosecutors believed he had 2 separate extramarital affairs. After they graduated, the couple married in August 1997. Shortly afterwards, the couple bought a sports bar named The Shack in San Luis Obispo. Business was initially not that good, but it slowly picked up and the shack became popular amongst the townsfolk. The couple sold the shack and moved to Modesto to start a family. Lacey took a part-time job as a substitute teacher and Scott got a job with TradeCo USA. Lacey's family, including her mother and younger sister, related that she worked enthusiastically at being the perfect housewife, enjoying cooking and entertaining, and that and thus she and her family welcomed the news in 2002 when it was revealed that Lacey was pregnant with a boy who would be due in February of the following year. The couple planned to name the new baby boy Connor. The weekend before Christmas 2002, Lacey and Scott went to visit his parents in Carmel, California. This would mark the last time Scott's parents would see Lacey. On Christmas Eve 2002, Scott and Lacey woke up together at their home in Modesto, California. After eating breakfast and watching some TV, Scott left to go fishing while Lacey took the couple's dog for a walk. Later that day, a neighbor found their dog, still wearing a leash, wandering in front of the house by himself. It's important to note Scott's character at this point in the story. Although he welcomed the idea of bringing a child into the world, his attitude towards his relationship with his wife was far from admirable. He had cheated on at least one occasion before the marriage, and it would later reveal that he had another affair while Lacey was pregnant. Amber Frey was a single mom who worked as a massage therapist. Amber and Scott had met in November of 2002 and shortly thereafter started a romantic relationship. They were introduced to each other by a mutual friend. A few weeks into the relationship, their mutual friend found out that Scott was married and phoned him up and pressurized him to come clean to Amber. Rather than come clean, Scott told her that his wife had died, sounding very dramatic and causing a scene. This convinced Amber that he was being honest, and the knowledge of him being in a previous long-term relationship confronted her while she planned on going long-term with him. He would often make up excuses to why he couldn't spend holidays with Amber to cover his family obligations. On the day of Christmas Eve, Scott had said he would go out golfing. However, he went fishing in the Berkeley Marina with his 14-foot aluminum boat, which his family didn't know he owned. Turns out he had bought the boat for $1,400 on December the 8th. This was quite unusual since Scott and Lacey were having financial troubles at this point in time. He came back at around 5 p.m., noticing his wife wasn't home, but the dog and her car were. He assumed she was out with friends or at her parents' place. He washed the clothes he wore that day and checked the voicemail on his landline and got a voicemail from his stepfather Ron, asking him to bring whipped cream to their place. This obviously meant that she wasn't at their place, and so he called Ron to tell him. Soon after, Scott and Lacey's parents started looking for her. They go around the neighborhood, asking neighbors and checking places she could be at. Worried for her safety, they called local hospitals in case she had an accident. It didn't prove to be a lead, so at 5:47 p.m., they informed the police of Lacey being missing. The police investigate the house and find a phone book in the kitchen open to a page full of defensive lawyers. Whoa! The police note Scott's lack of any negative emotion, and he seems stoic to the idea of his pregnant wife being missing. 2 days later, Lacey's family held a vigil for her. And this now infamous event, Scott spent most of his time with his friends, laughing and having a good time. That's hella sus. Scott had told Amber Frey he was in Paris for Christmas and sent her a voice message claiming to be next to the Eiffel Tower on Christmas Eve. On December the 30th, Amber saw an article on Lacey's disappearance and immediately called the police and started working for them. Snitch! She would call Scott and try making him incriminate himself or offer evidence against him. Scott had been an early suspect for the police. During his initial questioning, Scott was reported to have been unable to answer basic questions about the day. When asked what type of fish he was fishing for or what bait he used that day, Scott was unable to answer convincingly. Despite this, the public had held a very sympathetic view of Scott, although he rarely appeared on camera. On January the 24th, Amber Frey came out to the media in a press conference about her affair with Scott. This immediately changed the public's perception of him. Scott decided to go on air for the first time and did an interview with Good Morning America with Diane Sawyer. Such a weird name. During the interview, he explained he hadn't contacted the media sooner as he didn't want to draw attention away from Lacey. He also lied to Sawyer that he had told the police about his affair. The lie calcified the public's hatred for him. He told Sawyer that Lacey knew about the affair and was quote unquote okay with it, and habitually referred to his wife in the past tense. A diving team was sent to the Berkeley Marina where Scott had gone fishing on January the 5th as police had suspected he dumped her body there. They came out empty handed. In April, two bodies had washed up ashore, and DNA testing revealed that it was Lacey and Connor. Scott Peterson had mostly been staying in San Diego with his family, allegedly to avoid media attention. It was there that police arrested Scott at a golf course on April 18th. He was carrying over $10,000 in cash, camping gear, his brother's ID, and four cell phones. Critics were quick to point out that San Diego is also near the Mexican border, and Scott had dyed his hair blonde and grown a beard, further suggesting he may have been planning to run. With now mountains of evidence against Scott, a case was opened, and he was convicted of 2 counts of murder. Connor, with whom Lacey was still pregnant at her death, was included as a murder victim under California's fetal homicide law that protects any fetus 8 weeks old. In the same month, President Bush signed the Unborn Victims of Violence Act, also known as Lacey and Connor's Law, which criminalized harming a fetus when assaulting a pregnant woman. End scene. What you think?
It was very stupid. Like, plain dusting as to how it all played out. And just him in general, like, committing the crime seems very stupid.
Remember when I said
like,
this?
It's very immature. Like, everything just screams immature.
What do you mean?
It's like he doesn't even have a proper backup story, like an alibi or anything. It's just like a child
they caught him
trying
with his
to
pants
commit.
down.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah. He's a dumbass.
No, for real, though.
Dude, but then again, I don't know, like,
yeah.
You've seen the movie Gone Girl, right?
Yeah. Well, that was a complete different twist.
Yeah. You know, because so I'm looking at this case through the lens of the premise of that movie, and it's just like, is Scott really guilty? Like, are we for sure?
Dumb.
Yeah, or just dumb like that guy was, like Ben Affleck was in Gone Girl.
I mean, when we think of motive, I just don't see the motive, though. I mean,
yeah, me neither. I mean, of course, like he's cheating on her and
just
everything.
Get a divorce.
But yeah, or I don't know, man.
Unless it was some sort of family pressure or something, like from the girl's side. I don't know.
No, I don't think so. It was the girls. But why would he Why would he do it? I don't see a clear motive. It doesn't make sense either.
I just feel like none of it really, just these things, and it's like a chance of bad luck for him, where everything about him just screams fishy. So again, it just points at how childish everything just played out for him.
Okay, let's say. Excuse me. Let's say for a second that Scott isn't guilty. So what do you think happened to Lacey?
No, she probably wanted to commit suicide.
You think she committed suicide?
I mean, it could be a possibility, knowing that. But then again, she was a pregnant woman, so we would not really know her mental state. But then,
but she seemed happy to be a mother. She seemed to look forward to it.
She did, but then there's always that pressure of her husband being a complete dumbass. So, I mean, maybe she couldn't just deal with it. But then again, she could have just gotten a divorce herself. So it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's the thing. And why? And do you think she knew about the affair?
Yes. I mean, if she's not dumb enough, I think she would. I don't think this guy really even knows to clean his tracks or anything.
Yeah, but
And
that's
from
the
the
thing,
fact that he
man.
commit.
Like he didn't even try. He doesn't even try to clean up his tracks.
Exactly. So I highly doubt his wife didn't find out.
You know, if he did do it, I think he didn't expect it to become such a really big case, like get so popular. Like he thought it would be like a local news story and that's it. But it like went national. You know? But then again, you know, if he didn't do it, and if the Gone Girl, what happened was like exactly what happened in Gone Girl. In Gone Girl, she didn't kill herself, right?
No.
She just escaped somehow. But over here, they found 2 bodies with her DNA on it. But how did he do it though? He did do it. How? He would have had to abduct her from the park where she was walking the dog. And like the park is an open space. Somebody must have saw something. Like I'm just saying this.
And again, people that see tend to ignore. So no one's gonna get forward and say anything.
What do you mean tend to ignore? If you saw a pregnant woman getting molested or something, like
Yeah.
wouldn't you say something?
Do you think people pay attention? Like there are so many.
Yeah, you're right, man. They were probably
recent
on their phones in 2002, stuck on Facebook.
No, but like people
What
would
do you mean
be
wouldn't pay
afraid
attention
and run
then?
away. They're not gonna pay attention.
Okay,
They
maybe
would just
okay.
like run away.
Even if they run away, wouldn't they at least tell the police? It's not like that guy's gonna murder every single witness.
This is just like the alphabet murder, where everyone just ignored and just was afraid for absolutely no reason, and just mind their own business. You know?
I find that unbelievable, and nobody saw anything. I mean, it's a park.
Or maybe there was probably barely anyone. Like, what time was she at the park? Like early morning,
10,
afternoon.
11, in the morning.
Okay, it's
Not
kind of like
early
day.
morning. Yeah, I mean, 10, 11. It's gonna be that empty. Probably people walking their dogs.
If she was walking a dog, but then the dog, I don't know, attacked or something. Maybe she wasn't kidnapped from the park.
Yeah, but then how did the dog end up back home? Maybe the dog went back home on its own. But I don't know, man. It doesn't make sense because the dog would probably attack any person that tries to harm her. That would probably make such a big scene that a lot of people would notice. So it must have been someone she knew. I mean, the dog recognized.
That's good.
If the dog recognized that person, then like he wouldn't get all anxious and this and that.
Maybe
But again, you know,
Lord.
his whereabouts are really fishy because you don't know whether he went to the Berkeley Marina or not. Like that's both like incriminating and that's also like kind of freeing him. Because what if he was there? What if he was just fishing? Then he didn't do it, right?
Doesn't even know what fish he caught. Like, let alone he
yeah,
never
but
even,
who remembers that, man?
Oh, that's kind of stupid not to remember. And what about the amount of money he spent on like all of that? Like,
I don't know,
they were known to be broke. Go.
I mean, if you want to murder someone, would you really spend that much money?
Exactly, and he failed miserably to cover tracks. So it just doesn't
Yeah,
make
but
sense.
he didn't even try though. Like that's so sus. He didn't even like act like his wife is missing and he cares about it. Even if you don't care about it, you could at least act so it doesn't look sus. But he didn't even do that. Like he did such a bad job. It's like almost comically bad job.
I mean, they say that like if you haven't committed something, you're not going to act guilty by, I don't know, crying because you're just confident that you didn't do it. But then again, that he didn't react to the fact that his wife was dead. also hints at the fact,
Well, maybe he must
I
have
don't know,
thought
there's
that
just
she
something
was.
wrong.
But he didn't even look worried. Man. He wasn't even like, shit. My wife is pregnant
And
with
he's
a
probably going through
kid.
some sort of. He's probably mentally ill or something. Like,
Yeah, autistic or something. I don't know, dude. And then trying to run away. More sus.
exactly, that makes you much more guilty. Okay. I just feel like it's completely a child trying to commit murder. It's just. But it's more just like add up all together, so
What doesn't
it's
matter?
like confusing as to how he practically murdered his wife and dog. Like think
He
about it.
murdered the
How
dog.
can you get?
He didn't murder the
okay.
dog. The dog was
Well, the dog just
came back home.
well. That's weird. The dog just comes back. Like no, shut up. Weren't any DNA tests or anything found?
The only DNA test that was done was on the two bodies that came to shore, and they tested it, and the DNA matched Connor and Lacey's DNA, so it was their bodies. But other than that,
Was that?
I don't think
Yeah.
there's any evidence that he did it, other than like circumstantial evidence.
Okay, so no physical evidence.
Yeah,
I wonder how that got through court then.
I have no
Just-
idea. Come on. Try and show you. And again, he lied to the police. He wasn't being open. He lied to the public. He didn't even pretend to care. Which is so confusing. I don't know why you wouldn't pretend to care. At least pretend to care.
No, I'm seriously starting to think he has some sort of mental illness. They should have checked
Maybe
that
he's
out.
just playing dumb.
Why? What does he get out of it?
No, he just has a low IQ.
Wait, did he end up in prison though?
Yeah.
For how long?
I gotta see. Should have done my research. I think he's serving life sentence.
Oof.
Wait, I gotta
Seriously?
fact check that. Wait. So he was sentenced to death by lethal injection.
He was sentenced to death.
Yeah, but he didn't die. He's still alive. I think they changed the death sentence to life imprisonment. Oh, okay.
I feel like that's
A
kind of
single
too much.
hair was the only piece of forensic evidence that was identified. Where was the hair from? The hair matched through DNA comparison to hair from. Whoa. Okay, there was a piece of hair they found, okay, and it matched Lacey's DNA, and they found that piece of hair on stuck to pliers on Peterson's boat. You know what pliers are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there were pliers on his boat, and there was hair on those pliers that matched Lacey's DNA. Whoa.
Has Lacey ever been on that boat like way before or anything? Like
No.
ever?
He bought it on December the 8th, and she's pregnant. I don't think she would like risk it going on the water on such a small boat.
So he's serving life imprisonment. Did they like further reduce that sentence? Or like bail or anything, no?
He tried to appeal many times, and in 2020, they heard his appeal
Mm-hmm.
because they were arguing that the jury was improperly excused or some crazy shit. And then
Yes.
but then like everybody voted that nah, and then they upheld Peterson's conviction, so he's still in jail.
Oh, okay.
Well, man, he murdered someone.
No, it's just that doing law just makes me feel like the sentence was a bit unfair. But then I don't really know what it's like for sentences.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's not that much evidence.
When there's a child involved. What?
There's not that much evidence, like.
Exactly, and with criminal law, you need strong, and when I say strong, I mean like super strong physical evidence. Like, it's not like a civil sort of trial. Like, you just have to have so much of proof in front of the jury for them to believe you. Like, you just can't blabber shit out or something, or just make up a story or anything. It's like, if there is no solid evidence, like really solid evidence, like capiche, no one's gonna listen to it, you know? And with the evidence that they brought forward, it's just like barely anything, really. I mean,
yeah, except for the hair thing. The news to me, I didn't read this anywhere else. Dude, okay, this is kind of weird. Scott Peterson added 2 pornographic television channels to his cable service only days after his wife's disappearance.
That's very stupid. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically like he knew she wasn't coming back. He spoke in past tense. Damn, okay, this guy was definitely guilty. No doubt about it.
I don't know. I just see like a dumb guy trying to commit murder for absolutely no reason. That's honestly how I can see this case.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get his motive though. Like, why?
And I'm pretty sure divorce was a thing back then. What if she found out? Like, there's always a stupid divorce. Like, oh my God, you're not entitled to live with that person.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he was scared he would have to pay like alimony and child support if they got a divorce or something.
Well, that's on him for cheating, so there are always consequences to your actions.
True.
Okay. Thank you guys for getting this far from our episode. Tune in next week. Oh wait, no, not next week. Well,
whenever
they wouldn't know it's next. Yeah, whenever it is. And peace out.